Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Unsealed podcast, the official broadcast of Wings of the Eagle. Christopher Manti. I happen to be a pastor, but just a dude saved by grace. Amen. And if you know the Lord, then we're bros or sisters and brothers and whatnot. Anyway, that's a great thing. And it's a great day today to be alive. Isn't it? Even with trouble, crazy world, acts of evil everywhere. And so just a jumping off point today for everybody, and please join in the conversation here if you would like. If you're watching live, please just comment on the broadcast, whether you're watching hopefully on our YouTube channel, Wings of the Eagle YouTube. Please subscribe, hit that bell so you are notified. People tell me it doesn't always work. I agree, it doesn't, but might as well try it. Become a member also on YouTube. Just hit that button to join. It's a pittance, but it helps. As well as on X, the X platform. You can find me at Manti4, Mantei4, as you see there at the bottom of your screen. You can support and join there as well. Happen to be on Facebook, whatever. Just say hi. Who are you? Where you're from? If you have any question, comment, or whatever, please feel free to do so. We'll engage with you today. It's important, whether you're a Christian or not, just a moral person. If you have any morals, you should know Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11, which tells you to, and all of us, to expose the works of darkness. Do not go along with them. Seems simple. I mean, it's really simple. It is. Before we get going here, two things. If you haven't heard or seen or know about the Jesse Michaels interview, and I'm warning you now, it's long. It's really, really long. It's 3 hours plus. But it's very, as everything Mr. Michaels produces, it's very professional, very well done, and very well sourced. And a lot of great visuals to keep you involved. But anyway, it's called Presidential Advisor, I Directly Handled UFO Material, featuring Harold Malmgren, who just died a few weeks ago. Check that out. It's full of incredible information, real history, honestly. Like, that's the point of what I'm getting out of it, and what I think you will get out of it is, if you are a student of history at all, or can appreciate the weight of historical events and current events, because they're really the same thing, please go check that out. Okay, and number two, as you see scrolling at the bottom, we have some new books available for you right now. If you go to wingsoftheeagle.com or Amazon, but wingsoftheeagle.com/store, for example, you'll see this. All the newest stuff is at the top. Flee to the Mountains is a book that is now 5.5 years old, but it's Holocaust Remembrance Day, so you're going to want to pick this up to know what your role is to help the Jewish people, because yes, you have a role in that. But there it is on PDF, direct download from Wings of the Eagle. You can go there again, Amazon, for a hard copy, or an audiobook as well for all of these. You see the new releases include The Great Sword, which is a quote from Revelation chapter 6 about Iran, prophecy, and UFO weapons. Yes, that is the point of that book. It is not fictional at all. It's just thoughts on what it could mean, and etc. And it's very, very powerful, if I do say so, because no one's really put this forward before that I've ever heard. Check it out. Again, direct download on Wings of the Eagle or Amazon. Ready for the End, a Bible prophecy prepper guide for America. Everyone wants to know how to prepare, be a prepper for this or that. Well, that's what that one's about. These are not long reads. They're very easy to finish and absorb, but it's a way to, again, support what we're doing here, Wings of the Eagle. And then also we put into a book form The Hypothesis, which we did on various podcasts over the past couple of weeks, but its subtitle is the point of it, the hidden civilization behind the UFO phenomenon. That is the hypothesis. Doesn't mean it has to be true. It just means that's what the hypothesis that I wrote says, or me and my research partner For sure, Taryn was a big part of that. But anyway, go get all of that stuff. Those 3 of those are brand new. We also have an album, yes, of music, original compositions by yours truly, and with the help of AI to make the music. It's called Ontological Rock. I like that title. 22 original compositions with AI instruments exploring the most strange and profound aspects of reality. Hard rock and metal. My favorites, classical. My second favorite, probably. Crossover, synth, piano. You'll love it. There's all that stuff in there. You get a full track list, free samples of each song. That's another way to support what we're doing. And we even have online courses. Yes, on demand, as you go. Courses on 10 signs the return of Jesus is near, which is a shorter one. The End Times for Beginners, which is a complete college-level Bible study on all the end time scriptures in the whole Bible. And Flee to the Mountains, not the book, but as a course, which is a companion to the book. All of which are very, very well reviewed. You're going to love it. Okay. Let's get to what we're talking about today. Exposing the deeds of darkness. Ephesians 5, verse 11 says, have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them, or worthless deeds, or fruitless. You get the point. There's no point. They're useless. Worthless. Take no part in it. Have nothing to do with it. Don't participate. Instead, rather, expose them. Expose them. First and foremost, that means in yourself. Do not participate in any deeds or works of darkness in your own life, especially if you claim to be saved. If you claim to be born again and Christian, then you cannot engage in these behaviors. For you were once of darkness, but now you are in the light of the Lord. Walk then as children of the light. That's verse 8 in that chapter. So that's the thing. And then it says, for the fruit of the Spirit is all goodness, righteousness, and truth, finding out what is acceptable to the Lord, because that's what our motivation now should be. It's not to find out what's acceptable to me or to us or to your friend group or to your affinity group or whatever you're hanging out in and your workplace or your family or friends or whatever. It's not about that. But there is darkness that will come. And I just always get really kind of worked up when, I don't care what the subject is. It happens to be right now with just watching the Harold Malmgren, Jesse Michaels thing, him detailing yet again, it just seems to keeps confirming what this actual history of my country in the past, 8 decades or 9 decades, almost 100 years now, has been a constant refrain, even from so-called Christian people, religious folks. There's no exposing of darkness. There's covering up for darkness, or you're not just covering up for evil deeds. You are doing evil deeds. You are engaging. When you cover up for a crime, when you're covering up the truth, you are being an evil actor. Evil. There's no good in it. I don't care what, if you work for the CIA or some other intelligence group and you think keeping secrets is a good thing, well, God disagrees with you. He just does. And especially if it's morally repugnant and covering up for crimes and doing crimes and not telling anyone about it, this is not okay. I mean, it's just, why does that have to even be said that it's not okay? Because it's not. And what is the deep state? All my conservative Christian friends all day long, especially those who are in politics, all talk about the deep state, the deep state, the deep state. Fine. Then this is it. It doesn't mean whatever, don't make it into the boogeyman or whatever I feel like it means today. That's what it means. Whatever issue I care about, it must be the deep state because they're not doing what I want. Oh, my guy didn't win the election, therefore it's the deep state. Wrong. If you care about facts, if we care about truth, we should. We care about evidence. We care about what's actually factual, right? Hopefully we care about that. I don't care if you're Christian, religious or not. If you're a moral person, if you have morality, then you should care about the truth. You should care about what's right and wrong. And I think you do. And if you do, behave like it and call out the darkness. And that's, again, first and foremost within yourself. Don't blame it on somebody else. Don't say they're dark. Well, I'm dark. Okay, I have darkness that I have to get over. I have darkness that I have to put down. That's not the spirit. If you're a Christian, you know what this is. That's not the spirit. That's the flesh. That's my old nature. That's the antithesis of what I'm called to be and what I'm born again to be. So first and foremost in yourself, but then have no fellowship with the works of darkness, but expose them. Harold Malmgren, he waited till he was old and sick, unfortunately, and now he's dead. But thank God he at least said it before. He was exposing. No, maybe because no one else had the courage, or very, very, very few. We're talking about JFK era. We're talking about Cuban Missile Crisis stuff. Now, personally, I love that because I'm very familiar with it. I've always been fascinated by that era in our history, those few years, especially the first few years of Kennedy. He only had a few years, right? And then he was killed. And that whole scenario, the late 50s, early 60s, that was an incredible, turbulent time for the country, for the world, for Cold War, nuclear annihilation, civil unrest, racial tension. All of that was peaking. And in that you have this president who was very popular and doing things that were unpopular with the folks who had the real power. The deep state are people who are unelected. It doesn't mean government bureaucrats. It doesn't mean people who are I don't know. Everyone loves the IRS, right? Or whatever. The education department or whatever. That's not the deep state. The deep state is people who are unaccountable and like being unaccountable, and to the fact that they don't even want to reveal that they exist. They don't exist. They're off the books. They don't get paid by the taxpayers, per se. Right? They're not a government employee with a check that's sent to them. It goes deeper than that. And this is not a conspiracy channel, okay? I'm just telling you that the evidence is that the real history is, even today, I just heard Chris Mellon, who, if you don't know who he is, you should, an actual higher up in the Defense Department for years under multiple presidents. He just said, Chris Cuomo interview a couple days ago, that to this day, the Department of Energy, these are his words, and I'm going to try to clip this interview to put this part out maybe. To this day, the Department of Energy has billions with a B of dollars in black projects that no one knows about. No one. He says there is no accountability in Congress for them because there is no subcommittee for the Department of Energy for oversight. There is no oversight. And he was just giving examples of things that he knew. He says he was in charge of hundreds of black projects, special access programs, etc. He said not one of them leaked when he was there. Not one of them leaked. The insinuation is that government can't keep secrets. Well, guess what? If they really want to, they will. And this doesn't mean government versus regular people. It just means human beings, human natures, to not expose the darkness, to cover it up. That's exactly what a black project is. Secrets, darkness. And he says not one of those hundreds of programs he knew about leaked. And he says he was not allowed to tell the National Security Council, Director of National Intelligence, who's supposed to know everything, the DNI now, after 9/11, right? They're supposed to literally be told everything. The president has to know. He must be told every aspect from every department. That's what DNI is about. They are not allowed to know these deep black projects. And these are, again, some of them are, strictly speaking, they're legal. These are the ones with oversight. These are the ones with committees in Congress and Senate and in the House with people, their members are supposed to know, at least on that committee, what these black projects are. And at the very least, the gang of 8, right? The 8 members, the 4 in the House and 4 in the Senate, they are always supposed to be aware of every program in the government. That's the law. But guess what? That's not the case. So that's what we're talking about. We can't even we just saw the JFK files. Oh my God, thank God. The JFK files have finally come out, and this is President Trump's promise. Fantastic. By the way, where's the UFO stuff? It's telling that we can release JFK stuff. Is it all out there? I don't even know. Somebody tell me if they know. But it for some reason, it took like 10 attempts to get it all out. Funny how that works. Because we don't like exposing ourselves. We don't like saying we did something wrong. We don't like saying we covered up or that we're responsible. Oh, responsible. That's the whole problem with Christianity, right? Nobody wants to be responsible for what they did. No one likes to be told, oh, don't judge me, don't judge me. They don't like we human beings hate judgment because that means someone else is telling me what I did was wrong. That's called accountability. We know that there's right and wrong. Unless you're amoral or a psychopath, you know that there's right and wrong in the world, right? Correct? Right. So, being that we know that, we want to be the arbiters, though, all of a sudden, of morality. We want to say, well, it's subjective. That's not. Anyway, let's get back to the point here. Expose the deeds of darkness. Help the people who are doing it to spread that. And you can apply this wherever, guys. Seriously. You can apply this to whatever you want. But this has got to be a lifestyle. This has got to be a lifestyle for each of us. Don't grift off this. Don't try to, you know what I mean? Don't try to have the best. I kind of don't like this whole, oh my gosh, if I don't have the best thumbnail on my YouTube video, I'm not going to get the views. If I don't have the best title with the best hashtags, I'm not going to get the views. And therefore, I'm not going to get the total pennies from YouTube this month. Pennies. But some people are making thousands of dollars at this. And so all of a sudden, that's their God, right? That's what they're trying to please. So all of a sudden, darkness isn't so bad. Not telling the truth, not telling the whole truth. Let me get people on here who maybe are Nazi sympathizers. Let me get somebody on here who's, kind of a terroristic or pushing a fake meme coin or like, you know what I mean? That's the thing now. Just not okay. Just not. So it's, again, the Bible goes, if you respect Apostle Paul and the Word of God in Ephesians, he's saying more than don't be involved with the works of darkness. There's 2 statements there. Have no fellowship or don't take any part, have nothing to do with it, and expose it. Especially if after we take care of our own situation, that if you personally are involved in any kind of way, in any small, tiny way, any way of covering up and not exposing the works of darkness, you're liable. You're responsible for that. Even if the world doesn't hold you responsible, the Lord will, whether you believe in him or not. If you're a moral person, you got to know doing the wrong thing is always wrong. Covering up dark things is always bad. Is always darkness. And please, don't get carried away. Don't think we're all that. Don't think your ego all of a sudden is going to be, it's the most important thing. And I'm right and you're wrong. And I'm going to go expose all those bad guys and I'm the good guy. Not when you do it right. Now, when we do it right, we know we're just as bad. You're admitting guilt when you do this. I am at grievous fault, like the Catholics would say. Grievous fault. I helped perpetuate this work of darkness. Maybe I participated in it. But even by not exposing it, that is a sin. It's immoral. It's wrong. It's not enough to say this was bad. Well, guess what? It's bad, and now I'm going to expose it. This is my part in it. I'm coming clean. Or I know so-and-so who, this action is happening. I don't know, deleting Wikipedia pages or whatever, trying to assassinate people's characters or worse. If you don't assent to that, if you don't go along with that, the only hope that there is to stop this behavior is to stand up. Those who are involved in it to stand up and say no more. Not participating, not doing this. Even if it hurts you, guess what? Doing the right thing hurts. I mean, it'll hurt you financially. It'll hurt your purse, your pocketbook. It'll hurt your relationships, most likely. You're not going to get the network connections you want. You're not going to get the interviews on the podcast. You're not going to make all the friends, fake friends, phony friends, friends of convenience. None of that will work anymore. Please don't be a jerk about it. Don't be that way, but expose. Yes. Expose. It's not about us. It's about making right. Making it right. When you expose the darkness, you're helping someone else. You're making it easier for them to expose the darkness. You're maybe freeing them from a dark act or a deed or a lie. Again, apply this liberally, okay? Apply this everywhere it applies. The church and the charismatic, what the heck ever is happening with false prophecies the past 5 years, especially, just blowing up. Expose the darkness. Don't be afraid. If you cover it up, if you don't say, if you just zip it and continue on with your day, you're at fault too. You will be held accountable. You will be held accountable. Maybe in this world, well, I don't even like that phrase. Maybe before the Lord returns, but definitely when he does. Whether you believe in him or not. Whether you follow him or not. It's coming. And a moral person shouldn't have an issue with that. Because you should always want to do the right thing. You say, I don't need religious pressure. I don't need somebody telling me God's coming to Jesus is going to hold me responsible. I hold myself responsible. Great. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay? And I think we're entering a period where humble servant, just regular people are going to lead this. Not the smartest, not the ones with all the background or the money or the prestige, family bloodlines, whatever. Not about any of that. Okay. And again, just as a final thing, here it is, Holocaust Remembrance Day. Please do take more than a moment to pray, to repent in your heart of any darkness you have towards the Jewish people. I've always known Jews my entire life personally, and I'm thankful for that. So I didn't fall into this trap of, seems like 98% of all conspiracy theories revolve around the Jews being evil. It's the opposite, right? Whatever God chooses, the devil opposes. Okay. What do we got going on here? Birdman, what's up, brother? Thank you for the green heart. Always appreciate that. Even though I have an orange bird there. Whatever. Hey, bond servant, what's going on? Seems many are afraid of consequences or something if they come out with the truth. It's a big part of it. I think that's right. What's happening to church victims? Right. It doesn't really matter what we're talking about. If you're afraid, if fear is part of your calculus, okay, if you're calculating based on you're afraid of something, it's going to go badly for you. It's not correct. It's not what God wants. It's not the moral thing to do. If it's because you're afraid, even if not even unrighteously afraid, like, oh my gosh, my boss will be mad at me, or oh, I'm going to get in trouble, or oh, I'm going to be fired, or I'm going to lose this relationship. Okay. Especially if they're the ones doing the wrong and you're just covering up for them. Start speaking. Okay. Start doing the right thing. People are hurt because you're not. People are being victimized, to bondservant's point, because you're not. The silence and the deep state continues because you're not saying anything. And so what if it means you go to jail? I mean, honestly, what the heck? All the right, the moral leaders. I'm never talking about Jesus or the Christian faith throughout history of those who are doing the right thing and under pain of death, which there are many. But even the Gandhis or the Mother Teresa's or the standing up against criminal behavior in corporations in America the past couple decades or whatever. You being threatened with prison or persecution shouldn't make any difference at all. That's why it's put out there. They do that to intimidate you from not exposing it. And I guess they do it because it's effective. Because we humans can't deal with being afraid. So here's my advice. Don't be afraid. Choose not to do it. Choose not to fear. Do the right thing regardless of consequence. That's it. And if it means you have suffer consequence for it, great. Okay. I mean, whatever. You'll be vindicated eventually. And guess what? A lot of these threats against you are bogus. Especially in this whole deep state, UFO issue. They're not going to throw you in jail, bro. Break your NDA. Have 20 people break their NDAs all at once. They're not going to arrest you. They're more afraid than you are. They're afraid of being exposed. Bondservant, if folks don't learn to stand now, they will not stand when persecution comes. No doubt. And obviously the Bible talks about that a lot. If you can't run with the horses, yada, yada. You're not. The keyboard warriors is not going to cut it. How right? If I'm not afraid to speak out of my job, if something illegal or unethical is happening where I'm working or my church or whatever, or in my government position, if I'm not willing to do that, you failed on square one. You haven't hit the starting line yet. You're done before you start. And again, yeah, as a Christian, you're cooked when it comes to persecution, man. You're done for good. You are not going to stand up in any kind of heat for Jesus if you can't do the right thing now. Right? Is that logical? I mean, doesn't that make sense? He's giving us little opportunities, little tests maybe now. A great test. Well, it'll be great. I mean, it'll be big. Biggest one ever. Maybe you'll be here for it, or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be dead. But point is, it's coming. And we shouldn't expect it to be easier at that time, should we? Anyway. So please, I think we've said enough here. just as by way of reminder, do check out this Jesse Michaels interview of Harold Malmgren, and Pippa, his daughter, is also a part of it there. Again, it's very, very well done, but it's really long. 3 hours and, oh my gosh, almost 4 hours. I'm looking at it now. Okay. It's a long one, but it's so full of good stuff, especially if you're a history person. Please watch it and support what we're doing. If you like this, you got to hit the share button at least, please. If nothing else, hit share. There's so little. I tell you, I don't know if you know this. Probably you don't. But the number of shares is non-existent. That's what gets the algorithm going. So share it. And if you like what we do, if you like what we're doing here, if you like that we don't give a darn, I don't care. I'm never going to be afraid to speak out on whatever it is, Bible prophecy or Israel or unseen realm, the UFO issue, any of that. I just don't care. It's part of my makeup. Maybe the little autistic side of me just does not. I can't waste time caring about that. If it's wrong, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go along. So, and if I have any chance to needle in there and get a jab in, then I'll do it. So are you with me? Okay. All right. And yeah, it doesn't pay. I'm telling you, it doesn't. Who's invited me on their podcast to talk about this? Nobody. No Christian wants me. The UFO community doesn't want me. And that's not a pity party. I'm just saying this is the result. Now, I don't want to say there's no examples of anyone. Lou Elizondo seems like he's an example of this. Doing the right thing, even though he won't go to the NDA level, he still is working. He still has, a clearance and some type of contract work for the government that he wants to keep doing, so he gets a paycheck. Okay, I understand that, but he did it for the right reasons, and he gave up his work that he was doing and wrote the book that he did, and it's all over the place, telling whoever, well, listen, that's good. David Grush, hero level, man, hero level, no doubt. And the people who are exposing the charismatic church abuse and won't take any guff from people telling you, oh, it's the devil just trying to screw up our church or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. Prepare for that, right? From your friends. All right. So please heed the words of Ephesians 5. Do not take part in the worthless, fruitless works of darkness and evil, but instead expose them. Start within. Start with yourself. And anything you have any ability to influence on, to speak out about, whether you're involved, someone or organization or someone you're involved, whatever. If you can expose that darkness, expose it. Don't live in fear. If you're a Christian, perfect love casts out all fear. We believe in trust. Jesus, that's faith. His way is the best way. It's the right way and the best. All right? And those who are not, just follow your moral compass. Do the right thing today. Don't wait. You don't know if you'll have tomorrow. Like Mr. Malmgren, he died suddenly after he started talking about this stuff. You don't know how much longer you have till that day comes for you. So do it today. All right? All right, friends. This has been the Unsealed podcast, official broadcast of Wings of the Eagle. Pastor Manti says, until next time, we'll see you. Subscribe and share and all that stuff. There's a lot to talk about, so get ready.